And you're God, Lord have mercy upon my soul. You're tuning into the Lamont and Leah podcast.
I'm Lamont, and 'tis the season.
And I'm Leah. To be jolly. La, 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 la. And you're tuning into the Lamont and Leah podcast.
Like I said, Leah, 'tis the season, 'tis December, and December is National Human Rights Month. Today, December 4th, is National Cookie Day, so why don't you and I get a cookie right
All right.
after this?
I'm gonna go bake some cookies right now. That sounds so good.
Another holiday that stood out was December 7th, which is National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
I just remembered something about that. I went to my great grandma's funeral last year, I think. They told us that she saw the planes fly over on the day that they got bombed.
Oh, which was
Because
December 7th.
yeah,
I
because
guess.
she was on a different island, and she saw the planes fly over, and they were just like, "What is that?" And then, yeah, a little bit later. So, fun fact about my grandma.
All right. So, December 12th made me think of my Thea, Dana Santos, because she loves gingerbread and making gingerbread houses. So that is December 12th. And then lastly but not least is December 17th. It's National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. It is the third Friday of every December.
Cool. I don't have one. I only have cute sweaters.
I have one. I don't think it's that ugly, but it's not cute either. So today on the Lamont and Leah podcast, our dear, sweetest, beautiful Leah is going to tell us a story. Ain't that right, Leah?
Yes, it is.
So get your favorite blankie, get some hot cocoa, and snuggle up. We're gonna get started.
Okay, Lamont and all gather round for the story. My story does not take place in December, but it is about one of the greatest gifts I've ever received. So I thought it was fitting.
Sounds good.
So the month is October in the year 2019. So long ago. It honestly feels like it was very long ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a normal night as far as I can remember. And Patrick and I were sitting around talking about how hungry we were. And we decided that we needed some burritos.
Burritos are good.
Right? Like, it's late. Burritos are a great option.
But you're in Hawaii, right? At this time?
Yes. So we
So
were
there's
back.
no Del Taco.
There was no Del Taco. So, unfortunately, our burrito place was about to close. And it's one of the very, very few and far between burrito places. And it does take about 15 minutes and 20 minutes if there's traffic to get there. So, we were looking at the time. We're like, burritos. Now, let's go. Right? So, we get in the car. We're all ready to go. We're driving. And, the freeway entrance over by our house going that direction, it's a little dark, right? They do have street lights along that road, but for some reason, I don't know if it's changed now. I feel like it's not as dark in that corner, but for some reason over by that freeway entrance, it's a little dark getting onto the freeway. So we're taking our time. Of course, we have our headlights on because we're good drivers and it is dark outside.
Yep.
And as we're driving up, we see something go across the road.
What was it?
Right? And we're like, okay, that's strange. So we keep driving. And then all of a sudden, I realize what I've just seen. And at the beginning of the freeway entrance, I skirt over to the side of the road. I hit the hazards button and I go, Patrick, open the door. And at that point, Patrick saw it too. And he flies the door open, gets out, gets back into the car, and holds up the world's most precious puppy.
No way! Is this the story of...
This is how we were gifted the world's most beautiful baby boy puppy we named later Koa.
Aww, I never knew the story of Koa.
This is how we found him. The story continues though, right?
Okay.
So, yes, we found him. And we were just like, oh my god, there was a dog in the road. We found it. And like, it was immediate. Like, it was some telepathy going on right there, right? He likes to claim that he saw Koa first and got him. But like, I was driving. I saw the dog and pulled over, okay?
And told Patrick to open the door.
Exactly. So he may want to claim that he found Koa first, but that's just because I was in the driver's seat.
I see.
All right? So he grabs Koa. We're still on a mission to go get burritos because we are hungry. And now we're adrenaline, right? And so we're like starving. And we're like, oh my gosh, okay, we just found a dog. What do we do? Do we go look for his owners? I was like, well, first we have to get burritos. We're hungry. So we take off. We go get burritos. Mind you, one of the worst burritos I had in a long time. Because like, I guess it was end of the night. So they were rushing. And there was like hella onions on it. But like, they were only half cooked.
Oh.
They were half cooked, so they were like essentially raw onions. Like, anyway, it was gross.
I like raw onions.
Yeah, but there was a lot. They were like trying to put the rest of it in my burrito because they were about to close.
I see.
Moot point, right? So we get our burritos. We're sitting out there, and now we have a dog, and we're like, what do we do? So we start brainstorming. We're like, well, it's too late to drop him off anywhere. We kind of have to keep him, at least overnight, right? Because we live there's only one humane society on our whole island, right? There may be a few other smaller, like, shelters, but there's really only one big one. And it's on the opposite side of the island. And now, yeah, it's really late. So we're like, okay, well, what do we do? And Patrick's parents his mom goes to bed earlier than his dad, so she's already in bed. And he's, almost on his way to bedtime. So he's half asleep already. He's like, doing that thing where he's at the TV and he's like,
Yep.
like falling asleep, trying to fight it. And we're like, okay, well, what do we do? So we have the great idea. We're going to sneak the dog into the house.
Okay.
And like, I've had dogs before and I know they can be messy, especially if they're scared. So I'm like, what do we do like with this dog? We can't just let him loose. So I go into the house, say hi to Patrick's dad. He goes, hi. I'm like, I sneak back into the room really quickly. And I open the window in Patrick's room, and Patrick passes me the dog. And we're like, okay, so dog in the house, step one, mission impossible, right? And we're like, okay, now what? Okay, let's make him a bed. And so we're like, well, what if he pees and poops? Like, I don't want to, like, clean all that up in the middle of the night, right? So we get this little tarp. We have, like, the gap in between the bed and the cabinet. And so we put the tarp in there and we like pin it on all sides and we're like, okay, and we'll put like a blanket and a t-shirt in there so that he can sleep on it. And so he's sitting in there and he's so sad. He's like, I
Oh.
don't know what's going on. Like his eyes are all big and he's like looking around. He's like, and he was so small back then. He was so tiny and so cute. Like even tinier than he is now. And he was so skinny. He was so tiny and skinny. And we're like, okay, what do? We have to feed him. So I don't remember what we fed him. We tried to give him something. Like we're like, okay, well, you got to eat. So we go to sleep. We can hear him all night. He's trying to jump onto the bed. Our bed is way too high for his tiny little doggy legs. We feel so sad, but we're not going to let this strange dog that we don't even know if he has like worms or fleas or anything sleep in our bed. So the whole
Fair,
night
fair.
we slept the opposite way so that we could hang our head over the edge of the bed and watch him.
Aw.
um so the next day we're like, okay, now what? I'm like, well, we should probably try and like look for his owners because obviously a dog this cute has someone who's looking for him, right? So we didn't want to tell the parents yet. We didn't want to really get in trouble for. And by the way, if any of you know Patrick's parents, don't go telling them this part of the story, right? This part wasn't told to them, okay? This is secret between all of us, right? Shh, I'm trusting you. um, so we're like, okay, well, we can't tell them. So we open the window. One person goes around the other side of the house. We pass the dog back to the window, close it up, dismantle the whole little like living situation that he had, and we leave. And we're driving around, and we went to, where did we go? We drove around like the neighborhood, right? We looked
Mhm.
at the usual places people would put like missing dog posters. We
Mhm.
looked at grocery stores, we looked in front of like the library and everything. Nothing. We didn't see anything. Went on
Okay.
Facebook, like there's a lost and found, like multiple lost and found pages. I applied to all of them. I looked through everything. Nothing. And we're like, man, how could you not? But mind you, it was one day. So we're like, okay, maybe they don't notice or maybe they haven't done anything yet. But our mission for that day was to drive to the Humane Society. And we get there, we're like, hey, we found this dog, what do we do? So they take a picture of him, they get his weight, his description, they get our contact information. And they're like, okay, well, what do you guys want to do? And we're like, what do you mean, what do we want to do? They're like, well, you could keep him for now. You know, he has the little missing tag now. Like it's on the website and it's on, our social medias and stuff that there's a dog that's been found. Um, you could leave him at the shelter,
Okay.
but, then he'd have to stay in the kennels and or you could take him home and wait for someone cuz like if he's from your area, it'd be a lot easier if someone is looking for him to reach out to you. And we're like, well, we can't leave this cute little thing in the kennels. It was so sad. We're like, we can't do that. So we're like, well, we have no option. We have to take him home again. And so we stayed out all day as long as we possibly could because we like had no idea how we were going to ask his parents because up until now they had been like no animals.
Okay.
Like,
Right.
right? They're like, besides the fish tanks, that was it. They're like, nothing else. You're not getting any dogs, cats, chickens, rabbits. Don't even ask. And so finally, we're like, well, we have to go home. We have no choice. So we called them and we're like, hey, so we found a dog. And they're like, no. And we're like, well, listen. And we changed the story up, right? We didn't tell them we found them the night before. We're like, we were on our way to town this morning and we found a dog on the freeway.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
And his dad was just like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, we put in the report, but this is what they told us. We repeated back everything. So we think maybe if we could just bring him home for a few days until someone claims him. And he goes, all right, well, fine. We send him a picture. He goes, oh, it's very cute. But, his dad was like, we're not keeping him, but, we can hold on to him until someone claims him. So we're like, cool. So we get home. And by this time, Patrick's mom had not yet heard about this situation.
Okay. All right.
So Patrick comes home. His mom is in the back changing her out of her scrubs and everything. And he goes around the corner, and back then Koa was so tiny you could keep him in your hand, right?
Aww.
He puts him in his hand and he just puts the dog around the corner into the bathroom. And Patrick he's repeating the story. I wasn't there in case she was like getting undressed or anything. And he turns the corner and you can just hear from the back. She goes, "No!" She goes, "No! What?" Comes out. We repeat our edited story for them. And of course, they're just like, "No, that makes sense. We should definitely like hold on to him in case someone like is looking for him." And mind you, Patrick later tells me that he knew that Koa was going to be ours at this point, right? He knew. But me, I was hopeful, but I was also like, I want to get him home to his, his owners. Like, I would be so sad if I was missing my dog, especially one so cute and adorable. So, you know what? Let's take a small break. And then I'll finish it up. There's a little bit more to the story, but let's take a real break.
Let's take a
I
small
need
break.
some water.
Where's your cup?
Good question. So today we will be playing a game that I saw on Instagram from a user named Mr. Kyle Cohen. I will link the original video where he explains how to play this game. It's a little complicated, but it's called Pancake or Waffle. So essentially, Lamont is going to be starting us off. He's going to be thinking of a word, and I'm going to be asking him if it is a pancake or a waffle or similar to those things, and he will answer. And from there, I will continue to ask him things until hopefully we guess the item.
All right, let's do this.
So to make it easier on us, since we're not in the same room, because ideally it's played within the same environment, so it's easier to guess, we are going to be limiting it to things that are holiday themed, since we're so thematic here.
Happy holidays.
Okay, Lamont, so your item, is it a pancake or is it a waffle?
Waffle.
Huh. What is waffle? Is it a waffle or is it a Christmas tree?
Christmas tree?
Okay. Is it a Christmas tree or is it a candy cane?
Christmas tree.
Okay. Is it a Christmas tree or is it a present?
Christmas tree.
Is it a Christmas tree or is it a... I'm trying to think of an item related to the question. Is it a Christmas tree or is it a hymnal?
Christmas tree.
Okay. Is it a Christmas tree or is it a candle?
Christmas tree.
Oh gosh, okay. Is it a Christmas tree or is it a Christmas ornament?
Ornament?
Oh, okay. Is it an ornament or is it a ugly Christmas sweater?
Ornament.
Okay. Is it an ornament, or is it eggnog?
Ornament.
Damn, this game's hard. Is it an ornament, or is it Rudolph's nose?
Ornament.
Is it an ornament, or is it mistletoe?
It's mistletoe!
Yay!
Yay!
That one's so much harder when you're not in the same room. Okay, I have one.
All right. Is it a pancake or is it a waffle?
I would say it's a waffle.
A waffle, okay. Is it a waffle or is it a present?
Waffle.
Is it a waffle or is it a Christmas tree?
Christmas tree.
Is it a Christmas tree or is it a light?
Christmas tree.
Is it a Christmas tree? Okay. Or is it an angel?
Christmas tree.
Is it a Christmas tree or an ornament?
Christmas tree.
Is it a Christmas tree or a stocking?
Christmas tree.
Okay. So is it a Christmas tree or a candy cane?
Christmas tree.
Is it a Christmas tree or is it tinsel?
Christmas tree.
Is it a Christmas tree or is it the thing that wraps around the Christmas tree? A Christmas skirt or a tree skirt?
Christmas tree.
Here's a crazy idea. Is it a Christmas tree or is it a toy train?
Christmas tree.
Okay. I don't know. This is hard. Like, it sounds like it's something that's really firm and stationary, not something that you would hang.
I'm not sure if part of the game is me agreeing with your things or not.
Like, I don't know what else to say.
I'll agree though. Yes, you are correct in that assumption.
Okay. Is it a Christmas tree or is it a plant?
Christmas tree.
How obvious is it?
I will say that you were only close on like one thing so far. But you are right in which it is sturdy.
Is it a Christmas tree or a fireplace?
Still Christmas tree.
Still a Christmas tree.
So what I was doing is like each item that I asked kind of like encompassed a certain theme. Kind of like with 21 questions where it's asked man or woman. And you're like, woman. I'm like, okay, so there's no men.
So yeah, because like I'm not sure if you're doing the exact same way I was doing it, but I was like, okay, I picture mistletoe, and I need her to guess like something like alive.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm doing.
But then I was like, wait. But then I need her to think smaller. So when you got to ornament, I was like, okay, ornament, and that's something you hang. So I was like, if she can get like that, something that you hang, then she could probably get to mistletoe.
Yeah.
And I just haven't advanced beyond the Christmas tree, so I'm just like, oh my god.
But you're right. So sturdy.
It might not be a mistletoe.
It's not mistletoe.
Oh yeah.
Because it's sturdy and it's not hangable.
That's true. All right. So, I don't know. I think I'm gonna give up. I don't know.
Okay, fine. It's a manger.
So the wood. I had to get like wood.
In my mind, I was thinking pokey, like Christmas tree. But also, Christmas tree is not alive, technically. It's dead, just like the hay in a manger.
That's one reason, actually, like, I'm not sure if people know this or not, but I'm actually against the chopping of Christmas trees and the selling of Christmas trees, because we're just killing a whole bunch of trees just to throw it out. I mean, I guess, like, you can put it in the fire and, like, have a nice fire, but you are killing trees. You are taking their lives.
This is true.
So,
the alternative to that is artificial trees, which aren't too bad, except for the fact that consumerism wants you to buy a new tree every single year, which completely defeats the purpose of having an artificial Christmas tree. Because at that point, you might as well just have a real Christmas tree, because then at least it's biodegradable. So,
but if I buy
you buy an artificial tree and you continue to use it year in, year out, and like it's lasting you multiple Christmases, perfectly, like way more sustainable than getting a new tree.
And then I just buy new ornaments every year.
No, because that also contributes to it.
Or at least one new one, like one new one to mark.
One is fine. Yeah, exactly.
This is us, and this is what we did this
year.
Actually, tell us your Christmas traditions. Let us know in the comment. What do you guys like to do? What are some of your favorite Christmas traditions? Do you buy an ornament every year?
I was still hopeful, right? I was. And I did as much as I could. I may have slumped a little bit just because I was hoping that there was no one looking for him. But I did. I went around to the different areas. I looked for posters. I made sure that I was checking the Facebook page every single day. I was checking the Humane Society page every single day, looking for comments, right? And according to the Humane Society, after 27 days or about a month ish, right? If no one has claimed the dog by then, technically no one owns him.
Okay.
So I was really trying not to get too attached. We were like, okay, let's name him. And I was like, oh no, I don't know. And originally we wanted to name him Buddy
Okay.
because he's still a buddy. He's a little buddy dude. He walks around the house with us all day. If we're doing stuff, he walks back and forth and he'll go sit so he can watch you while you do stuff. But because Patrick secretly was just like, we're keeping him, like we're definitely keeping him. Very like only child mentality, might I add, right? As an older child of 6, I was just like, there's a very high possibility we're not getting to keep him. But in his mind, he's like, oh no, I'll make it happen. Anyway, but because Patrick knew that, he was really trying to get his dad to warm up to the idea. Because his dad was really the one who was just like, no, I don't want a dog. I don't want to deal with that. Like, the house isn't made for it. Our backyard doesn't have a fence. Stuff like that, right? So I guess, and Patrick's dad does not remember this conversation, but Patrick swears up and down this is how it went. But Patrick's dad was mentioning that Koa's fur color reminded him of koa wood. And because Patrick's dad's he is a woodworker by hobby, self-taught, I think that's the correct phrase for it. Patrick was like, oh my gosh, that would be such a cool name, because he's right, the color is almost exactly the same color. And maybe if he had like a wood related, like woodworking related name, dad might be more like, oh, I like him, right? And so that's how we ended up with the name Koa.
Well, that's one perspective. I say that's racist.
Why?
You guys named him after a color. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bad
I
perspective.
could have named
Bad
him
perspective.
Pancake because he's
All right.
smooth like a pancake. I don't know. So by this time we were already buying stuff for him. Like, Patrick and I had already gone out. We bought harnesses and leashes and little poopy bags, and like we were just like toys and everything, and a little like bed for him. And also Patrick's mom had started to be like, oh, he's so cute, I think I love this little thing, right? And so finally the month-ish so time is coming to an end, and his parents check in with me. They're like, so what's the status? And I was like, well, no one has come forward. The only thing that I haven't done is put up posters myself. And I was just like, I'm not doing that because I want to keep him. But like everything else, I was being very like, okay, I'm checking on Facebook. I'm checking like all the stores in the area. I don't see any signs. I don't see any posts. And so we kind of all sat there in the room together and we looked at each other and we're like, should we just, crazy idea, keep him? Huh? Patrick and I acting all shocked, like that wasn't like,
Wasn't the plan.
wasn't the plan at all. And his parents were just like, I guess. So that is how we ended up having Koa. Current update, Patrick's mom is absolutely obsessed with this dog. All right. So are we. And he is he is confirmed #1 cutest good boy ever.
Aww.
And that is the story of how we came to have my favorite present ever.
Aww. Can we see your favorite present ever?
Yes. One moment. Let me go grab him.
Okay.
Okay, for real though. I'll be right back. He's upstairs. He loves Amalia more than me now.
Aww.
Okay. Boy.
Hi, Koa.
Koa, say hello.
So, fun fact, Koa got to come to my wedding.
I know.
Oh, that was really cool. So, like, I guess you guys get a bonus story. Really quick. Super short story. So, Leah was like, hey, we may not be able to go. And so, a little bit bummed, but like, okay, like, I understand, like, traveling and there was family issues and, like, just trying to get things done. Turns out they landed Friday, right? You guys landed Friday in California?
Like, I think so.
And they
Like
came
the
the next
day
day, which was
before.
Saturday.
Yeah, like.
And they were like, hey, we're coming. We're going to be able to make it. And it was awesome. I'm so glad
Right.
that Koa and Leah and Patrick could be there.
Yes. Hello, Koa. I can usually get him to say hello. Koa, can you say hello? Koa.
Hey, Koa, you know there's some dogs that go like, "I love you." Can you do that? Aww. Aww. That is adorable. Aw, Koa, we're so glad that Leia and Patrick get to have you and love you.
Koa, are
And
you glad that we found you in the middle of the night? Say, ooh. There we go. Are you a little buddy? Say, ooh. There we go. He's so cute and small. Can you imagine that he was smaller than this at one point?
yeah, well, that's usually what happens to puppies.
I know, but he's so tiny. And he was tinier. Okay. I get him out of my jacket. Hi.
All right. Well, I think it's great to see Koa here on the Lamont and Leah podcast. It's probably time to wrap up. You know what? You know what? Post your pictures of your favorite pet in our comment section below. Let us see the little people that you love. And he's ruining the set.
He's just like, I'm out, bro. I'm out.
And,
All right, I'll respect
we
your
would
wishes.
love to see your pets that you guys love so much, whether it be a cat, a dog, a goat, a horse, a bird, a snake, a spider, a turtle. I mean, there's so many like
There are.
different types of pets out there. So let's see your pet, and let us know Leia's story.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Today's life lesson is not everyone deserves to hear your story. Dr. Brene Brown says to share our stories with people that have earned the right to hear them. That doesn't mean everyone has earned the right to hear your stories. If you are going around and finding people that are not willing to relate to you, those people not be your people. And you shouldn't be sharing your story with them anyways. Share your story with people that have earned the right to hear them, and you'll see how your life will be so much better off. And that is today's life lesson.